So all the probes skip, okay? This one, you must know that this is the uterus, okay? This is the normal uterus. When I will ask you your diagnosis, this would be a normal uterus, okay? If I'm going to ask you what's this triple line here, that is your endometrium, okay? Those are the only important things you have to remember with this slide, okay? This is a normal uterus with a triple line endometrium. So this, if I'm going to ask you what states during the menstrual cycle, you have a triple line endometrium. Doon tayo talo. Kasi diba sabi ko sa inyo, problem is what states during menstrual period if you have your triple line endometrium? Is it the proliferative states? Okay? It's proliferative, okay? So what hormone is expected to be high? Is it the estrogen or the progesterone? Okay? It's both. Because you have your FSH and your LH. Okay? This is the problem. You're not yet through with your diet. But there should be a before, okay? Okay, this is the normal uterus using your curvilinear probe. Okay? Convex. And then this is the transverse diameter. There's no need for you to study this, okay? These two slides is very important, okay? But not this. This one is the cervix. There's no need. I might be showing you the nabocensis at the cervix, but those are not really that important, okay? This one is very important, the GS, the stational sac. Try to imagine this is your endometrium. Okay, so that is your GS. So usually implantation occur at the distal end of your endometrium. Okay? That's why you have your GS there. Okay? GS is very, very important. If you see a almost perfect circle at the end of the endometrium, if I would ask you to identify that, that is your gestational sac. Okay? Okay, remember this slide. This one. This is more of a transverse diameter of your uterus. Okay? You try to imagine the uterus is almost oval. Okay? It's not pear shaped. Okay? Normally, the appearance of the uterus in ultrasound is pear shaped. If you see this as an oval structure, then that's a transverse diameter. Okay? So, if I'm going to ask you the earliest possible sign for intrauterine pregnancy seen in ultrasound, what would be your answer? Gestational sac. Okay? Please don't answer gestational sac diameter. The earliest sign would be the gestational sac. Okay? And then you have the yolk sac. The yolk sac is quite important to rule out blighted ovum, okay, in early pregnancy. So, yolk sac would occur next to your gestational sac before the embryo. Okay? So, GS, yolk sac, then embryo. Okay? So, there you are. You have the three, and the fourth structure would be your amnion. Okay? But not all the time you would see an amnion. You would appreciate the amnion. So, you try to appreciate the GS, the embryo, and the yolk sac. The first to occur would be the gestational sac, next would be the yolk sac, and then the embryo. Okay? You try to study this slide, okay? This one. The next measurement, that is, the most reliable measurement for your first trimester intrauterine pregnancy will be your CRL. Okay? If your patient don't know her LMP, then the basis for the expected date of delivery would be your CRL measurement. Okay? The obstetrician gynecologist would base their pregnancy on the CRL measurement because this is very accurate. Okay? There you are. That is your CRL. So if I'm going to ask you that structure, study this. This is very important. That is the umbilical cord. This one, hanging. Okay? So if this is your CRL, this is your umbilical cord. So, an example of the measurement of your CRL, from the crown, from the head to the rump. Okay? Crown, rump, length measurement. And then, as I've said, that is your cord. Okay? Again, study these three measurements, the BPD, the femoral length, and your abdominal circumference. Put a check. Okay? All these three. And what's the most reliable measurement among the three? During the third trimester. Still the BPD. Not unless you would see a discrepancy, okay? If the abdomen would measure something like 35 weeks and the femoral length would measure something like 34 weeks and your BPD only measures 28 weeks, then you would consider microcephaly. You try to compare, okay? Plus or minus 2 weeks would be the average, okay? So study this three measurement. If I'm going to ask you what measurement, so at least you know. Okay? It's very important. This one, this would only prove that the pregnancy is alive. This is the importance of your heart rate. And then, if I'm going to show you this, your diagnosis should be embryonic demise. No cardiac activity. Okay? It's a flat rate strip. Yeah, placenta localization, this would be important. If you see the placenta on top, that would be anterior. If you would see the placenta below, this is the placenta, that would be posterior. And if you see the placenta on the side, that would be fundal. Okay? Definitely, placenta localization is one of the questions. Okay? Above, it is anterior. A goes for A. Above, anterior. And then down, opposite of D, that would be P. You try to reverse, that would be posterior. And then the side, that would be fundal. Okay? And then the turtle sign, identify the sex. So that would be male, and the burger sign would be the female. If I'm going to ask you the sign, please burger sign, not female sex. Okay? If I'm going to ask you identify the sex, then female sex, male sex. Okay? But if I'm going to ask you the sign, turtle sign, or the burger sign. Okay? Please, huwag naman Burger King or McDonald's. Yeah, you're laughing, but somebody wrote it. Be honest. Who wrote bamboo shoot? I have here the papers. Be honest. Who wrote bamboo shoot? Somebody wrote bamboo shoot. Is Joanne here? Dito si Joanne. Congratulations, Joanne, with the high. Okay. Okay, this one is a blighted ovum. So, your clue here is the gestational sac is a little bit bigger at this point in time. So, you could consider blighted ovum something like 9 weeks to 12 weeks. Okay? Because 6 to 8, you should expect to have an embryo. Okay? And then if your patient would insist that she really knew her LMP, then you try to see if it's more than 9 weeks and you don't see any embryo, that's blighted ovum. And the gestational sac is quite big and it's no longer perfect circle round. It's deformed. Okay? Again, I would ask you the management for this slide. Management. Subchorionic hemorrhage. Complete bed rest. Okay? Who among you answered pleural effusion, aspiration of fluid? May sumulat doon. Instead of writing thoracostomy, aspiration of fluid. I did consider that because you would encounter some of the pulmonologists who do the needle aspiration to remove the fluids in the lungs. But mind you, not diuretics. Definitely not diuretics. And then there's somebody who wrote hydroperitoneum. Would you understand hydroperitoneum? I'll ask you. I consider that correct. What are you thinking if you see that answer, hydroperitoneum? Diba meron pneumoperitoneum? When you say pneumoperitoneum, presence of air in your abdomen, right? So when you say hydroperitoneum, it's referring to presence of fluid. So that's also ascites. So I consider that. This This one, your subchorionic hemorrhage, so just complete bed rest, okay? Then for the placenta previa, definitely what I'm going to give would be the placenta previa totalis, okay? Please take note, placenta previa totalis, not marginalis, not low-lying placenta. Okay? But I'm not going to ask you to identify it. I'm going to ask for the management. Okay? So what would be the management? Yes? What? Cesarean. It's an absolute indication for a cesarean section. And then there's this one, incomplete abortion. This is very common, especially nowadays. Teenagers would go for abortion instead of delivering that baby they have. They would opt for abortion. Nowadays, it's not only in the Philippines, it's worldwide. So this is very important. Punishment for incomplete abortion would be DNC. Okay? And then, if I'm going to ask you this sign, this is the donut sign of ectopic pregnancy. Okay? Take note. I'm going to ask that. The donut sign. But I'm going to use a more obvious slide. Better than this, the donut with a hole. And then this one, this is your, what type of pregnancy is this? What type of pregnancy is this?
Heterotropic pregnancy.
Huh?
Heterotropic pregnancy.
Okay. This is heterotropic pregnancy, okay? One is intrauterine, the other one is ectopic. Okay? So, if you were able to establish this through ultrasound, what would you suggest? Definitely, you're going to terminate the ectopic pregnancy. Okay? You have to open and terminate the ectopic pregnancy. Okay? This one, if I'm going to ask you, what's this? This is twin pregnancy, but don't expect I'm going to show you twin pregnancy. So your answer there would be multiple pregnancy. If it's more than two, okay? So I can show you 3 or 4 embryo. So you just count the embryo, then just write multiple, okay? This could also be a multiple pregnancy. It's more than one. Okay? There you have your cervix. Should be closed. And then these are your nabotan cysts. Not that really important. And then you have the myomas. 3 myomas would come out. The intramural. Okay? There you are. Your clue here, the myoma is within the muscle. Within the myometrium. Okay? That's why intramural. Okay? And then your subserous cell will be outside the uterus, but it is attached to the lining of your uterus. Okay? And then the other one would be the submucous. Actually, this is not completely submucous. Meron siyang intramural component. But submucous dominates. this picture. Okay? But the myoma is quite big, then it tries to invade the myometrium. Okay? So 3 types of myoma definitely will come out. The intramural, subserous, and submucous. Okay? And then the polyp. Management for polyp. Kaya sabihin niyo polypectomy. Di ba? But how would you do polypectomy? Okay. It's inside the uterus, so what would you do? What's the procedure? Hysterectomy. You will remove the uterus? Come on. Yeah, hysterectomy. Or others would do DNC. Okay? Please don't do hysterectomy for endometrial polyp. Okay? Okay? The ovaries. Okay? Definitely, I'm going to ask you the PCO, polycystic. Okay? Your clue there is that the follicles are seen at the periphery. Okay? There you are. What sign is that? The rosary beads. Okay? This one. There you are. So if you would see at least 5 to 6 follicles at the periphery, then staying on your diagnosis of this, if possible PCO, you might as well be correct. Okay? Okay. This would just be a simple cyst. Okay? Ovarian cyst. There you have your, sorry. You have the normal structure of your ovary, and this is the cystic structure. So this is not a subserous myoma. You might be telling me, Doc, that's a uterus, and then it's attached to the edge of the uterus, so that's the subserous myoma. So this is cystic structure, it's purely black, okay? Then, complex mass, but I won't be giving this. This one, definitely I'm going to give this. Your chocolate cyst. So how would you differentiate chocolate cyst from dermoid cyst? In dermoid cyst, try to look for calcification. Okay? In chocolate cyst, it's purely homogeneous, hypoechoic. Okay? It's hypoechoic. So if I'm going to ask you solid or cystic, your answer should be identify the lesion. Is it solid or cystic? Endometrioma, solid or cystic? This is chocolate cyst, so cystic to. Sabi naman kayo. Diba other term for endometrioma would be chocolate cyst, right? So if they're going to ask you, is this a solid lesion or a cystic lesion? Answer is a cystic lesion because this is your chocolate cyst. Okay? There you have the endometrioma. It looks solid, right? It looks solid, but definitely this is cystic. There goes your point of differentiation. If you would see hyperechoic structure, meaning gray to white structure, within the homogeneous hypertrophic structures of the dermoid cells. If I'm going to ask you what are the possible components of your dermoid cyst, because your chocolate cyst would purely liquid, for your dermoid cyst, possible components that you would see, a tooth, a hair, for your teratoma, right? The other name for dermoid cyst would be teratoma. Okay, hydrosalpinx. So dermoid and chocolate cyst will come out, okay? And then for your hydrosalpinx, I'll show you this, okay? So your clue here should be your trans B. Because normally we don't see your fallopian tube using the curvilinear probe. Even using the transvaginal probe, if your fallopian tubes are not inflamed, you won't be able to identify both fallopian tubes. You only identify the fallopian tube if they are inflamed, especially with the presence of fluid. Kaya nga, ang kuha nila, hydro. Okay? Salpinx is your tube. Okay? So, the management for your hydrosalpinx would be salpingectomy. Will you agree? Management for your hydrosalpinx, salpingectomy. Doctor. Salpingectomy? Okay. Always remember, you have to do trial and error. You have to give your antibiotics. And then repeat ultrasound after menstruation. You would be surprised. Some patient would come for follow-up. They would say, there's no more pain. So I'm going to ask you signs and symptoms for this would be abdominal pain or abdominal cramps. Okay? Possible cause. If you're going to take the history, who's to be blamed here? The patient or the partner? Most of the time, the obstetrician gynecologist would ask the patient, what's the job of your husband? Okay? If the wife would say, seaman, then they would favor the patient. Most probably is secondary coming from your husband. Multiple partners of mate. Multiple sexual partners. Okay? So hydrosalpinx management would be antibiotics. There you are. So don't confuse yourself that this is the gallbladder. So you might be confused that this is your Phrygian cup later. Okay? This will definitely come out, the H mode. So management for H mode. Yeah, sterotomy. Evacuation of the products of conception. Okay? And then the most important advice you would give would be no pregnancy for the following year. Okay, let's start with the liver. So this is the right lobe of the liver. So it's very important that you have to see the inferior border of your right lobe. Okay, there you have the left lobe. There should be no fluid present because in some vehicular accidents, they would ask for a fast ultrasound. Have you encountered that? Have you been to the ER? Some residents would ask for a fast ultrasound just to determine the presence of fluid in the vital organs of your victim. Okay? So, all we do is to look for the presence of fluid in doing the fast ultrasound. Usually, we would look on the area of the liver because the liver is the largest organ, and there would be the possibility for liver injury would be very high. So we would look for fluids within the liver. Okay, the other part would be your spleen. Okay, and then the other would be on the pericardium. Okay, so this is a very important landmark, the hepato and the renal. So this is the hepatorenal angle. So you would only label this as hepatorenal if you could demonstrate your right kidney. Definitely the kidney that is below your liver should be the right kidney. Okay? And then all the hypoechoic that you would see, that would be your intrahepatic ducts. Okay? So it's just normal to see the intrahepatic ducts when scanning the liver. Okay? So, if you don't see the border of your liver, you would consider fatty liver. Okay? So, if